I'm back. Road Rants on the Clone Wars. If this is your first time checking out one of my reviews, any episodic television show, I review individually as an episode, not as the arc, okay? Just like I would any other show, Game of Thrones, The Shield, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, anything like that, okay? If it is episodic, I'm going to review it per episode. Now, this is the Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 11, Shattered. This is the episode we have been waiting on. We start out right where we left off. This has got spoilers, by the way. We have the clones having captured, clones and Ahsoka Tano having captured Darth Maul. They have enclosed him in a Mandalorian device that is designed specifically to contain Force users. Very cool stuff here. They wheel him in. It's somewhat akin to, he's not frozen in carbonite, but it reminds you a little bit of that. You can see his eyes. The great thing about Maul is Maul has a tremendous amount of rage in his eyes. Makes his character fantastic. Now, they get him loaded up. They take off to the ship. Then we see a conversation, hologram conversation with Master Windu, Yoda. Ahsoka's in on the conversation. They're talking about what everybody's doing. Obi-Wan. They won't talk about Anakin, really. So, now, Yoda does offer Ahsoka the chance. Do you want to deliver a message to Anakin? You know, he's off, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I'm going to pass. Not realizing that was probably her last chance to talk to Anakin or give him a message of some sort. Although, we find out Anakin and Yoda didn't have any contact with each other anyway. Revenge of the Sith. By the way, this is going to be the definitive true companion piece when viewing Revenge of the Sith. It's so good. I've got to give credit where credit is due. Dave Filoni's done a masterful job of interweaving Revenge of the Sith and this Clone Wars arc overall. So we get that shot, that clip, okay, that we saw the other day where they come in and as Captain Rex and Ahsoka's walking in to the room on what will probably eventually be a Star Destroyer, technically speaking, you know, looks that way anyway. It's one of those Republic ships. You feel the Empire. And that's what I said when I saw the clip the other day. You feel the Empire in the room. The captains, everybody in that room, that control room, they feel like they're in the Empire. Order 66 hasn't happened yet, but you feel it. You feel that pull, that evilness of the Empire, looming doom, right? So, Rex, Ahsoka has a great conversation. Captain walks in, tells Rex that there is a message from the Chancellor. You're like, oh crap, here we go. Captain Rex is taken off, and sure enough, execute Order 66. And you're like, uh-oh. Now, I want it to be known that I made a call the other day, and I've been talking to my subs about this. They swore up and down to me Rex would not execute Order 66. And I said, I believe he's going to. He did. Rex, when the order was delivered, the door raised behind him, and it was Ahsoka. He had struggles. Like, it showed him shaking a little bit. But he ultimately pulled both of his guns and commenced the firing on Ahsoka. Now, there was probably 4 to 5 clones in there. Ahsoka oh crap, sensed what was happening, all of a sudden pulled her lightsabers out and was able to get away and go up out of the room, and it became a cat and mouse game. And her first line of business was to go let Maul out, okay? And, of course, Maul comes out, and he thinks they've got a team-up situation. And in theory, at first, I was like, Ahsoka Tano and Maul teaming up? That sounds pretty cool. But it was a smarter direction to have Maul act as a diversion, so Ahsoka can try to get away and or find out what the hell's happening. Okay, so Maul is off doing his thing. She gets him out, and he takes off in an opposite direction. Her first priority then becomes, I need Captain Rex. She goes to the droids. She gets 3 droids. They figure out a way to wall off Captain Rex. She gets him stunned, puts him down, takes him to a medical bay, and after some analysis with one of the medical droids like you see in Empire Strikes Back, you find out that he's got that chip in him, okay? And she's like, I think this may be the issue, blah, blah, blah. We discover then Ahsoka is the one that had the chip cut out of Rex. He comes to. The clones show up. They finally get through the door. They've been trying to get in the door while all this medical stuff's going on. The door opens, and as she's getting ready to fight, blaster shots come in from behind and shoot the clones, and it's Rex. But that chip was in him, and he executed Order 66. Okay? And I find that, look, the fact that he went through with the order makes Captain Rex wildly more fascinating immediately because it adds depth. And it also shows you the power of the chip and the power of the Emperor. It does, okay? I loved it. I loved the fact that he actually went through with executing. People said, no, he's gonna use his mind and he's gonna overpower that. And I was like, no, not if there's a chip in him. He won't. He's going to go through with it. And I was, full disclosure, rooting for him to go through with it. I thought it was going to make Rex wildly more interesting. And he is more interesting. More depth now. Even though Rex is Rex has turned out to be... Rex may be moving up into my top 20-ish Star Wars characters of all time. I love Rex. I do. Rex, #underrated. He basically apologizes to Ahsoka and is like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 that this happened, blah, blah, blah. And that's where we sort of end the thing, okay? A great episode. Good God. It was tremendous. I would say overall, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I loved the dynamic with Maul, the fact that she did not team up with Maul. I loved Order 66. You feel a ton of emotion, a ton of struggle, a ton of conflict. I do want to recognize that Ahsoka had a voice situation come into her head where she hears the confrontation with Windu, Skywalker, and what would become the Emperor. That whole powerful scene where Mace Windu gets his arm cut off and he flies out the window, and he may or may not be dead. It's always been my contention that Mace Windu is actually alive, but that's neither here nor there. I give it a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I've watched it twice already. It's 5:07 in the morning. I've watched the episode twice already. I try to watch them twice for the review anyway, but I was like, no, I just want to watch it twice. Powerful episode. When Dave Filoni is on top of his game, he's very good. I've got to give credit where credit is due. Sam Witwer doing Maul, Ray Park, Ashley Eckstein, everybody is at the top of their game. And like I said, this arc overall is going to be the definitive Revenge of the Sith companion piece. Tell me what you think, Rhodes Squadron. I loved the episode. I thought it was so good. I did. Tell me, did you honestly believe Captain Rex was going to go through with it? One of my longest, maybe my longest active subscriber that interacts, even from my old channel coming over, Anthony YouTube fan, I'm giving you a shout. He did not believe Rex would go through with the order. So, I was right. I was right. Peace. I'm out. Hit subscribe. This is your Star Wars. Occasionally, we get some really good. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
King Kong in the trunk.